Before we get on to the video, I just want to say that this video is sort of sponsored by Vitamin Water. Get yourself some vitamin water at your local convenience store or online at Amazon. Let's go ahead with the video. Today's the day where I finally explain why AEW is good. I just want to start off with that there is too much negativity towards this promotion and that I want to make a video of something positive. AEW's got a solid fan base that gets constantly bashed by the day by a hatred group, whether it be by Cornet listeners or WWE fans. It's time we start to recognize AEW for the good that it does and try to push away this weird hatred group. Also, fair use does not grant you permission to steal other people's work. Make your own content. First off, AEW does not lie to their fans. Oftentimes, they'll live up to expectations, and if not, they'll make it up for it. Remember when the barbed wire deathmatch didn't explode as planned? Instead of sweeping the mess under the rug, they continued the storyline and actually made fun of the match themselves. Soon after, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had the best women's match in AEW history. They got to main event on a special St. Patrick's themed Dynamite episode in a lights out match. They changed the women's division since, so much so that the women's division in Dynamite get more TV time than the women's division in Raw or SmackDown. Their division was once before in a bad spot with hardly any TV time, but AEW listened to those fans who were complaining, and since they've changed and the ball has been hit out of the park non-stop. You can always count on AEW when they're about to announce something major, whether it be a new signee, new Dynamite theme show, or even a new match. Majority of the time, they always deliver on their promises, and they make sure they do, and if not, they will make it up for it. AEW is closer to a sport-based product than most wrestling promotions. It's only rare that a silly segment will occur. AEW doesn't insult the intelligence of their audience. They know their audience is smart, therefore they let the audience choose who to cheer or boo. Never will AEW force a fan to control their narrative. That's the beauty of AEW. Nothing is forced down our throats, and considering they know their audience are loyal wrestling fans, they premiere the best wrestling content out there. Almost every Dynamite episode has a major match that gets the fans over. When you're a fan, you get spoiled every week, and they lead us to wanting more and more. From TV to pay-per-views, you can always expect high-quality matches that get you talking for the rest of the week. To this day, I still talk about Santana and Ortiz versus Best Friends in a parking lot brawl. I also would like to give credit to AEW Dark. It's a hit or miss show, but it's a well-needed program to help showcase their roster. Not just that, it helps people from the independents get a quick payday. Due to the pandemic, a lot of wrestlers weren't able to work because a lot of independent promotions had to shut down. Thanks to AEW, Dark helped showcase those future talent and also giving them a quick payday. I would also like to mention that AEW never had to let go 20 plus talented stars due to COVID, but instead they hired a majority of them from WWE, so they can continue getting paid and feeding their families. Speaking of stars, AEW has an incredibly unique roster. They've got a whole lot of people making a name for themselves, whether it be MJF, Orange Cassidy, Jurassic Express, or even the majority of the women's division. Haters often complain about how guys such as DDP, Sting, Billy Gunn, or even Tully Blanchard are in AEW to take away TV time. But the reality is, they don't. They're on a program to help elevate future stars, and most of these older generations are barely taking any spotlight for themselves. Sting is helping Darby, Tully is helping the Pinnacle, Billy Gunn is helping his own children, and DDP only wrestled one match to help push MJF. It's so cool to see these legends actually enjoy the product and help pass the torch to those in AEW. Another thing, AEW's Logic makes the most sense. They've got a win/loss record that not only gives a sports-like feel to the company, but helps indicate what talent is currently superior. I actually enjoy this ranking system because I enjoy the sense that a new signee to the promotion has to work their way up to any titles that they desire. It helps create storylines, plus opens a lot of possibilities for anyone who might be up in the ranks. Speaking of storylines, the storytelling in AEW is perfected like a freshly baked pizza. I haven't seen this type of storytelling in a long time. They can drag a story from over a year ago and correlate it into something going on today. They plant seeds every quarterly and water it every episode to perfect the craft of the story. You cannot find this anywhere else in America. Can we also talk about how professional Tony Khan is on Twitter? Most CEOs of companies do not go on Twitter to interact with fans or even acknowledge different situations and sort complications out. Here's an example of Tony appropriately handling a troll. There's a whole lot of bullies on social media that constantly bash AEW. Sometimes they'll start awful rumors that do need to get addressed, such as how AEW is purposely striking people on YouTube who use their content, and then cry how fair use is supposed to protect them. It's always been known on YouTube not to steal work from others, period. YouTube is a platform that want their users to make their own original content, but unfortunately some of these fans do not listen, and instead of learning from their own lesson, they will often blame AEW. Here's a video that I've got planned on uploading. It's a WWE 2K gameplay video with my commentary over it. And what's that? I can't monetize the video because it has content that I don't own? How dare WWE do this to me? It's all WWE's fault. I will cry on Twitter about it. Jokes aside, when I make a WWE related content, even in video games, I can expect that to happen because it's not mine. It's only logical, but the bullies will continue to bully their way into acting innocent when they're not. So bravo Tony, a huge bravo actually, because without AEW, I would not be watching wrestling at all. AEW is the company that saved me from falling off the bandwagon because quite honestly, I could not watch WWE anymore. Unlike most of these bullies, I'm not going to go out of my way to complain all day about a show I dislike. I'm actually just going to watch it. And that's what I recommend to a lot of people. If there's something you do not like, then don't watch it and move on. Life is too short to be mad at something you cannot control over. Hence why I stopped caring about WWE as much as I used to. But because I want to remain happy, I'll happily continue watching AEW because that is where I go to ease my mind and get me going for the week. I'm not going to force anyone to watch a product they don't like, but I can surely recommend the hell out of it. When I make a wrestling video, whether it be AEW or WWE, I'm not going to put my ego in front and say I'm promoting them and they should be happy that I'm doing it when clearly they didn't ask for it in the first place. That was all the things I wanted to get off my chest because I honestly feel that AEW deserves better after the harsh things that a lot of bullies put out there. Anyways, that's all I've had to say. Thank you for watching this video. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, do whatever you do on YouTube, and go to bed.